All right, hi you guys. Welcome back to the channel. I'm back with another live. I am gonna jump right into this reading. You guys see the title. Um, I did get a chance to watch the documentary. Um, and I was actually really surprised about how good the documentary was. I thought it was gonna be a bit biased, but I have to say that the documentary was, to me, um, pretty unbiased for the most part. I think it was really good journalism. The way that Diddy was able to, um, 50 Cent was able to get a lot of Diddy's, people that knew him from his childhood and things like that and kind of story tell. So it was a great way to story tell. Um, so yeah, I think the documentary was pretty good. So as we all know, I'm coming back to do a quick reading. For the reading, it's not necessarily on the documentary, but just more so surrounding what's next for Diddy, what happens now, what's next for both Diddy and 50 Cent. More so Diddy. So yeah, so for this reading, I'm going to be using regular playing cards. Okay, these are regular gold playing cards, and if I need to, I might use the music tarot. But I kind of wanted to see, what comes out with the regular playing cards first. So let's jump right into the reading. As you guys come into this live, make sure you like this video. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Share this video, share the live. And if you like this type of content, you want to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'll be more than happy to have you, okay? So, I ask my ancestors, my spirit guides, to protect me as I channel this message. Protect me from any distractions, any disturbances, any evil, dark deeds, any evil eyes. We return to sender. All right, so let's get right into this reading. Show me what is next for Diddy. What is next for Diddy? So now that I highly doubt that Netflix is going to take down this documentary. So because I did hear that Diddy was planning on suing Netflix or something like that, trying to get them to take the documentary down, but I highly doubt that that's going to happen. So I kind of want to see what is next for Diddy, right? What's next for him? Thank you so much. Make sure you guys are liking this video on your way in. I appreciate you. So I'm going to turn the camera slightly so that you guys can also see the cards, okay? So show me what's next for Diddy. There we go. Let's bring it down. So, okay. Show me what is next for Diddy. What's next for him after this documentary? Now that it's out there, what is next? May I have the cards face up. Show me what's next for Diddy. Okay. So this card wanted to come out face up. I do feel like Diddy is going to get other opportunities, okay? So the Ace of Hearts gives me an offer. I feel like there are people that still love Diddy, okay? They still love him. They admire him as an artist, as a mogul, things like that. So he does have a very strong fan base. The Ace lets me know that he is seeing not only himself, but he's also seeing his fans in a different light. Okay, I do feel like Diddy is still going to be accepted when he comes home from prison after he does his time. There are people that are still going to offer him interviews and want to get his perspective, how he feels, okay? Because the heart talks about your feelings. In this scenario, the heart is in the reverse. So I feel like there are some people that are still put off by Diddy, but he does have some loyal followers, okay? I do feel like when he comes out, there's going to be a lot of people that want to interview him because he's going to be a hot commodity, okay? So there are still people that are going to want to interview him when he comes home. What else for Diddy? Okay, so there's a woman that is showing up here. This could be his mother. This could be the mother of his children. But there is a woman that is showing up in his reading, very supportive. This could also even be Carisha. I just heard that as well. Okay, so there are women that are supporting him, that love him and care for him. Okay, so I'm getting his mother, because his mother still sees Diddy as her little boy, right? Even though he is a grown man. His mother does still see him as a child, right? With the Jack of clubs. So the Jack could represent a child or very childlike energy, okay? Yeah. Diddy has a lot of women. I feel like although his crime was against women and men, I do feel like there are still a lot of women that really care for him and love him, you know? So I do feel like he is going to have a strong fan base that is just, it doesn't matter what Diddy does, right? It doesn't matter what he's accused of. They're still going to have a lot of love for him. And I feel like he's gonna come out even more, like he may lean more into the brother love rebrand that he was doing, because we have a lot of hearts here. So we have a 9 of hearts, then we have the 6 of hearts right after. Okay, so this is nostalgic. He's gonna try to make us, the audience, fall in love with him again. So he's going to lean into the brother love rebrand. He's going to lean into, you know, I'm leading with love. So he wants to tap into the heart of the people to win their affection, win their love back. Okay, let's see how he does with that. But the 6 of hearts could talk about tapping into the past. So maybe using, like, you know, things that like feel good type of music, maybe things that he knew people loved about him back in the day. He's going to try to relive that in order to gain the audience's love and affection again. Because I feel like with Diddy, it's not a money thing, it's more of a love thing. Like he feeds off of the fans' love and admiration and affection for him. He feeds off of that type of energy. So it's not really like a, oh, I need your money. It's more so, no, I need you to love me. I need you to feel how I feel. I need you to, you know, have deep, strong emotions about me. Okay. So that is the kind of energy that he's invoking. Then we have the ace. So there's a lot of new beginnings, a lot of aces. This is the second ace that's coming out. So there's a lot of new beginnings for Diddy when he comes out. I don't feel like that's the last of him that we're going to hear. He's still going to get opportunities. He's going to get job offers. There are people that are still going to work with him. The aces, like I said, do represent new milestones, new things, new opportunities, okay? The clubs would represent action, okay? So there's a lot of actioning happening, okay? What else? What's next for Diddy? The Joker. Yeah, new beginnings. He's trying to come off like innocent. Like, he's gonna try to act like, because the Joker in this sense is like innocence, right? This is someone that is playing a part of the Joker. The Joker is actually very intelligent. They know what they're doing, but they play dumb in order to learn, okay? So I feel like this is what Diddy's gonna do. Diddy's gonna take on the role of the Joker, the you know, happy-go-lucky, I'm so happy, and things like that. But the Joker can also play tricks on you, right? So I do feel like there is an aspect of him that is still manipulating. He's gonna try to manipulate the masses. But ultimately, I feel like, I don't know, maybe the joke's on him. We'll see. And I'm going to clarify this with some tarot. Can I have 2 more cards for what is next for Diddy? Okay. So we have the 9 of clubs. The 9 of clubs. So there's a little bit of worry here. But this is also victory after battle. So in Diddy's mind, remember, Diddy is, to me, and this is my own opinion, to me, I feel like Diddy is a bit of a psychopath. And I'm using that word loosely. Again, I'm not a professional in that regard. So I'm not a doctor or a therapist or anything like that. But from what I'm seeing, like the characteristics, like he's a bit of a psychopath. At least that's how the documentary portrays him to be. I don't know this man personally. So remember, everything I say is allegedly and for entertainment purposes only. So do not take anything personal. But I do feel like in his mind, he feels like this is a victory. Like him coming out, when he comes out, he's going to use this as, you know, I made it through the storm. I made it through these challenges. You know, the white man tried to take me down and put me in prison and lock me away. And now that I'm back home, I've made it. Like, look how I'm still standing. Okay. So it's that type of energy. Yeah, he's leading with this heart. I'm telling you, there's a lot of heart cards. We have the Ace of Hearts, the 2 of Hearts, the 9 of Hearts, the 6 of Hearts. He's going to try to do everything he can to win back the love and the affection of the public. That is what's eating away at him the most. It's not the money that he lost, because he knows that he can make that back. You know, he's a billionaire, or was a billionaire. So he still has very rich, very wealthy friends that are still going to be willing to invest in him, loan him money and things like that. So monetarily, I don't feel like Diddy is worried about the money. What he's more worried about is losing the love and the affection of the public, of the fans. That is his biggest thing. That is what is eating him at night, or possibly keeping him up at night, is the fact that they don't love me anymore. They don't value me. Okay. So it's more of like, I'm telling you, look at that. The 8 of Hearts. The 8 of Hearts in the traditional tarot deck would be the 8 of Cups. So this is, he is afraid that people are going to walk away from him and no longer care about Diddy. Diddy doesn't want to be a nobody. He wants to come home and still feel love and admiration. And I feel like what would hurt him the most and really crush his ego would be the public not receiving him in the way that he wants. And I do feel like there is a lot of his following that has abandoned him. They've abandoned him already. And when he comes home, it's going to be more people walking away. Okay. So in this instance, the 8 of Hearts talks about someone trying to work hard at something, like trying to work hard at like forcing people, almost trying to manipulate people to still love him and still admire him as an artist, as a mogul. But there are people that have walked away. They've completely abandoned Diddy. Like, they're like, okay, you know, we don't like what you're associated with. There are people that still have a certain level of ethics and respect, and they don't really respect what Diddy has done. Like, the level of respect that Diddy had, he's not going to get that. But he is going to do his best to garner the love and affection from his fans. Okay? Yeah. And I feel like with that comes money. So because people are walking away with this 8 of Hearts, there's also going to be a loss of money. So he does understand that once you lose the heart of the people, they're not going to give you their money. They're not going to invest in you. They're not going to buy into whatever it is that you're selling. They may watch an interview here or two, like if he does like, I don't know, Vlad TV, or maybe he does like, what's the lady, the Oprah's best friend? What's her name? What's Oprah's best friend's name? Gail. So maybe he does like a sit down interview with Gail King, or he does an interview with, I don't know, someone from ABC or something like that. People are going to tune in to watch the interview just to hear what he has to say. But I feel like on an emotional level, people have walked away from him. And when the people walk away from you and you lose their heart, you're also going to lose money as well. Okay. So in this case, the 10 of Diamonds would represent the 10 of Pentacles, which is financial abundance, gains, and things like that. So as he loses the heart of the people, so does his money. Okay. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to keep going. Show me 50 cents. What was 50 cents' intention? What was his intention behind this? Was this revenge? Was this journaling, storytelling? What was 50 Cent's intention? 50 Cent's intention was to break him spiritually. The Three of Spades would represent the Three of Swords. So this is someone wanting, 50 Cent wanted to crush him. He wants him to feel pain. He wants him to feel heartbreak. He wants him to feel not necessarily betrayed, but 50 Cent is like, I'm going to drive this knife through your heart by airing out all of your business. So this is what 50 Cent's intention was to collaborate, because the three talks about collaboration. So he wants to, which he has done, collaborate with other people with the three. So working with others, creatively doing things with other people. So this is not just 50 Cent's doing this himself. This is him, you know, putting the financial backing with others. So collectively working with others to bring on this Spades energy. Spades talks about communication. So more interviews, expect to see more interviews. There could be a part 2, part 3, whether he drops it on Netflix or Prime or YouTube, TV, that type of thing. Expect to see more interviews and more commentary, more documentaries about Diddy when it comes to 50 Cent. Okay, so this was his intention, was the Three of Spades. He also wanted him to lose money. He wanted him to lose brand deals, partnerships. People that would have normally worked with Diddy are probably not going to work with him. Is he going to get other people to work with him? Probably. But I feel like there are going to be major brands that would have once worked with Diddy will not work with him now, just because of the allegations, ethics, and all of that involved, right? You know, a lot of brands, they don't want to associate themselves with not only someone that, you know, is an abuser of women, but they don't want to work with someone that is deemingly, sexually assaulting people and things like that. So there is going to be a lot of loss of money with the diamonds here, okay? That was his intention. Also, 50 Cent wants Diddy to worry. He wants him to stay up at night. He really wants to break him mentally. So the purpose of this documentary, his intention behind it, was to keep Diddy up at night, to mess with his head, okay? To have him doubt not only himself, but his thoughts, people around him. He wanted to bring on an energy of betrayal, okay? Because the Nine of Spades talks about someone worrying, doing many different things at once to try to not think about the bad things that are happening, but his intention was to not only take his money, but to really break his heart and break him mentally, okay? So this is more of like a mental game for 50 Cent when it comes to Diddy. Yeah. And what's so interesting about it is I think that this was a fair, it was pretty fair. I feel like if anyone is going to take down Diddy to a certain degree, I think 50 Cent was the right person to do so, okay? And I'm saying that on a level of, 50 Cent is kind of like his equal. He's also a mogul. He's also a multimillionaire, all right? He's very esteemed. So it wouldn't have made sense for like maybe a blogger or someone to attempt to do what 50 Cent did. I think 50 Cent was the best opponent for Diddy, if that makes sense. Even on his even on his spiritual level, I think 50 Cent is really the best opponent for him, you know? Let's clarify some of this with the tarot. All right. So show me 50 Cent first. Show me 50 Cent's energy. Are there going to be more documentaries? Can we clarify that? Hi, you guys. Thank you so much for liking the video. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Four of Swords. Yes, he's planning. 50 Cent is in planning mode right now. He's planning, thinking about what he's going to do next. This is planning mode, okay? Yeah. Exposing. In this case, the star card coming out next to the Four of Swords, this is him exposing the star that once was Diddy. Okay, so this is an expose of sorts. There is going to be more coming out with the microphone. There's going to be women, more women that are going to be coming out. This could even be, there's a Caucasian woman, another Caucasian woman that may step forward. But ultimately, I feel like 50 Cent is going to possibly get other female victims of Diddy's to come forward, okay, and speak their truth. As you see, this woman here is holding a mic, okay, and she has a spotlight right now. She's the star of the show. He may even try to get Cassie. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? That would be interesting. What else? Yeah, look at this. This is 50's energy. The death card. He wants to finish him, end him. 50 Cent represents a part of Diddy's reckoning, right? As far as karmic reckoning. 50 Cent's job was to, quote unquote, unalive and bring death to what the public once knew as Sean Combs, aka Diddy. The death card talks about transformation. This can also talk about someone that is ushering in this death type of energy. So in this instance, it would be 50 Cent ushering in the quote unquote death of Diddy, and proverbial death, not literal death, okay? So I do feel that. Or it could also be literal. I mean, Diddy may feel like, you know what? I'm not even going to say what I was going to say. I'm not even going to say that. Let's keep going. Clarify the Four of Swords. The world. He wants to continue exposing him to the world. Yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot more information circulating. It's going to be a lot more information circulating here. The Five of Cups. Okay, this is someone feeling sad. I feel like this is Diddy's energy, feeling sad, depressed, feeling defeated emotionally, okay? Crying over, it's like Diddy, he's not worried about what he should be worried about. He's more so worried about, are they still going to like me? Are they still going to love me? But he doesn't really care about, you know, all these people that are going to sue him. He's not worried about the money. He's more so worried about, are they still going to love me? Are my fans still going to love me? Is the public still going to love me? Okay? And the Five of Cups is like, this is someone feeling sad and feeling worried, but they're worried about the wrong thing. Like, they're worried about things that are trivial, if that makes sense. Okay? This is like someone crying over spilled milk. Okay? But I do feel like, you know, Diddy is going to lose a lot of his star power. Okay, this is like a public, I don't even want to say public humiliation. It's more of like a public proverbial death. Okay, and this is being played out in front of the world stage, right? For everyone to see. All right. Oh my gosh. I think the documentary is even being played overseas, and it's like #1 overseas as well as in America. So this is people from all over the world that are watching this documentary. Clarify the death card. The King of Cups. This is 50 Cent, y'all. This is how he feels. 50 Cent is happy. He is gloating right now. He's in his King of Cups energy. The King of Cups is a water sign, which we all know 50 Cent is a Cancer. Very petty. But he's coming out as a king. He's coming out in a very powerful position. 50 Cent is giving petty. He's very much giving petty vibes with this. But he feels like he has accomplished what he set out to accomplish. The King of Cups is someone that's actually very emotional, but they are able to control their emotions. So even though 50 Cent is a Cancer and is a water sign, they're very prone to like deep, dark, not dark, well, yeah, in his case, it would be dark, deep emotions, but they know how to control that, right? Whereas someone like Diddy may not be able to as much. This could even represent Diddy's energy because Diddy is also a water sign. I believe Diddy is a Scorpio. Okay, that's definitely Elton John. Yeah, that's definitely Elton John. This particular deck that I'm using is a music tarot deck, so there's a lot of like artists on here. But yes, this is Elton John, which we know Elton John is part of the LGBTQ community, right? So, not saying that 50 Cent is part of the LGBTQ community, but we know, you know, Diddy certainly is. Okay. So someone is feeling happy about this ending, and I feel like it's 50 Cent. He's happy, he's proud of himself. He feels like he's done, you know, he's told the truth, okay? With the Ace of Swords on the bottom, this talks about some type of truth coming out, even more truths coming out. And that's why I say that, you know, we're going to see a lot more women. A lot more women are going to come forward to speak their truth here. Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands talks about, I mean, 50 Cent is not going to let up, you guys. On a spiritual level, 50 Cent is backed by gods, I'll say. Okay? 50 Cent has the backing of gods. Let's take out how we feel about the situation, but just on a spiritual level, being objective, right? What I'm saying is objective, and it is my opinion and my opinion only. But on a spiritual level, 50 Cent is being backed by gods, okay? This is part of Diddy's reckoning. This is part of his karma, all right? It's almost like 50 Cent was destined, right? Because the World card also talks about destiny, okay? Fate. So this was fated. 50 Cent was fated to be in Diddy's life in that way and kind of bring an ending, right? Bring death, proverbial death, okay, to this man's career. So this is almost like he is being divinely guided, if that makes sense, okay? Yeah, this is like fate. This is fate here. Oh my gosh, y'all. I'm telling you. Look. The next card is the devil. So it's like 50 Cent is bringing the devil down. Okay, binding the devil. So the devil also talks about lust, temptation, sexual urges, perversions, and things like that. I feel like this is Diddy's energy as the devil. And Diddy still feels like he's a bad boy. Look at this guy's lip. He's kind of like, yeah, I'm a bad boy, you know? Like, he's almost proud of his devil horns. Like 50, I mean, Diddy is like, he's almost proud of himself. Like, he's proud of, yeah, I lived up to this bad boy image, right? I'm the bad guy. I've been calling myself bad boy for a long time, and here I am living it, right? That's why I say, you know, be careful what you speak over yourself, what you call yourself, because whatever you speak out of your own mouth, you're going to cast that upon yourself. And what has Sean Combs been calling himself for the past 30 years, almost 40 years? He's been calling himself the bad boy, right? Bad boy, okay? And what happens to bad boys? They get put away. They get put in chains, okay? They get humiliated publicly, shame, embarrassment, you know, materialism, things like that. So I feel like, you know, Diddy kind of brought this fate upon himself with his words and how he carried himself for the last 30, 35 years. Okay. Yeah. And 50 Cent feels like right now he is bringing down the devil. Okay? Bringing the devil to his knees. No pun intended. All right, the next card that came out is the Five of Swords. Yeah, 50 Cent is going to go after anyone he thinks will turn on Diddy. So like all of his ex-friends and things like that, okay? I agree. Here's of the Most High. I agree. So yeah, so the Five of Swords talks about people that are no longer speaking to Diddy. 50 Cent is going to go after those people to get an interview. Okay, we have the King of Swords here. So this is him also playing the role of the swords, right? Communication. So this is somebody that is in charge of the narrative. Okay. I feel like in this instance, this is going to be 50 Cent's energy. Being in charge of the narrative. Controlling the way that people discuss Diddy, okay, with the swords. Like, how can I control the way people talk about Sean Combs? How can I control what we say about him 50, 60 years from now when Sean Combs is deceased, right? So what 50 Cent is doing is almost putting a stop to Diddy's legacy, okay? Changing the narrative surrounding him, what we talk about. People are, I mean, this documentary, The Reckoning, it's gonna be on Netflix for possibly a very long time. So decades from now, people are going to reference that, right? The people that, you know, I'm an 80s baby, so, and I'm from Brooklyn. So I grew up around the Diddies, you know, I was in that era, the Diddies, the Tupac, the Biggie, you know what I'm saying? Like, we mourned, Brooklyn mourned for Biggie when that happened to him, when he passed away. We mourned for him for weeks. I mean, there were people that weren't going to school for weeks at a time mourning the loss of Biggie, especially in the 90s. You know what I mean? Like, Biggie grew up maybe 15 minutes away from my neighborhood where I grew up. So it was pretty big. And it's very disheartening to see that what I felt back then, even as a young child, like I was probably like 10, maybe like 10, 11. So what, this was in the early 90s. So I was probably like junior high school. Okay. And I remember even then feeling like, I think it's so weird how like Diddy's like, you know, once Biggie died, it's like Diddy just took the spotlight. He made that song and he was just dancing around. It was almost like Diddy was celebrating Biggie Smalls' death. And even at the time, although I was young, it still felt a bit weird to me. Like, it was just very strange that, you know, this guy who's supposed to be, you know, Biggie's right-hand man and is supposed to be his best friend, but also, you know, producing him and things like that. Why is this guy celebrating this big loss? So this interview, the documentary, even for me, kind of answered a lot of the questions that I had and a lot of the suspicions that I had about Diddy possibly being involved with the unaliving of Biggie Smalls. So, and I don't think I'll ever forgive him for that, you know? I mean, he hasn't been brought up on charges, so there's nothing like definite that's saying that Diddy actually had something to do with Biggie's death. But if he did, Brooklyn will never forgive Sean for what he did. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll never be forgiven for that. And I know for sure, like, he's going to lose a lot of the New York East Coast audience. He's going to lose a lot of those fans because we loved Diddy. We loved Biggie. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So right now, Diddy is the devil, the bad boy, right? And 50 is the King of Swords. So he is controlling the narrative, controlling what we talk about. And he's doing a great job at it because, look, I'm on live doing a reading on this documentary. So he's very much controlling and influencing the conversations that people are now having about Diddy. So yeah. All right, we have the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups talks about discernment, talks about decision making. I feel like people are going to be forced to pick a side. You know, people are going to be forced to pick a side. Is what I'll say. The Seven of Cups talks about, you know, decision making, looking at all of the choices and everything presented in front of you and really thinking about, okay, what is going to make the most sense, right? So I feel like in that situation, when it comes to this reading, this is people thinking about all of the things that they've heard and all the things that they've seen and all of that, and making a decision morally, okay? Because the Cups talks about your feelings. So this can talk about the heart space. So morality. They're really going to have to make a decision on, where do I stand in this situation? Am I going to stand with Diddy despite these accusations? Or am I going to stand with 50 Cent and be like, yeah, right on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Keep exposing. So I feel like people are going to be forced to pick a side on an emotional level. Okay. That's crazy. Every other channel making stuff up. Making stuff up as I go with several cards. Okay. Well, thank you for commenting. Make sure you guys like the video. All opinions are welcome. I don't censor. I don't have any moderators. So speak your truth. As long as you ain't cursing, speak your truth. So there's a Queen of Coins came out. So this Queen of Coins, I feel like, is Diddy's mother. Okay. This is actually Missy Elliott. But I feel like this represents Diddy's mother. All right. She's in control of the finances right now. She is in control of the finances. Everything is in her name. All of Diddy's, well, not all of Diddy's money, but a lot of Diddy's money is in her name. So when Diddy comes out of prison, is he going to be broke and flat on his ass? No, he's not, because a lot of the money is in his mother's name. This Queen of Coins, Queen of Pentacles, is who holds the money. And what's interesting is, now that this has happened to Diddy, his mother is going to have a lot more power, financial power over him. And I know Diddy doesn't like that. He's too much of a narcissist, okay, to like the idea of a woman, especially his mother, having financial control over him in that way, okay? So it kind of puts her in the advantage, you know what I'm saying? It puts her in a very powerful position here. All right, and then on the bottom we have the Justice card. So this is justice being served. This is Diddy serving out his time. I do feel like he is going to have a lot more legal things that he's going to have to deal with. So this is litigation, mitigation, lawsuits, things being balanced out. There are people that he's done music with, right? People in the entertainment industry that are seeking justice, and I feel like they are going to get that, okay? Justice is going to be served. Yep. All right, you guys. I think that's it, y'all. Anything else before I close out this reading? Any closing messages when it comes to 50 Cent? The Three of Wands. Okay, this is something long term. So, yeah, expect to see a lot more stuff coming out. I think this is the end, y'all. I think this is the end for Diddy. I think he is going to try to do a lot to win back the love and affection of the people, but some people have really just checked out. They've checked out emotionally from him, mentally, like they've checked out, okay? The Three of Wands talks about long term, okay? So this is like what's being done now is going to be a stain on Diddy's legacy for the long haul, y'all. Yeah. Yeah, judgment. Okay, judgment being called on him here. Justice being served. Yeah, y'all. So that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys like this video. If you want to see more content like this on your favorite celebrities, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for all of you that commented. You know, even if you don't like the content, unlike the video, like the video, just engage. This is an open forum. It's freedom of speech here, okay? I know YouTube likes to censor people, but we're not censoring over here. There's a reason why I don't have any moderators, because I want people to be able to type freely what they want, as long as you guys are not cursing. I have no issues, all right? But again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all on the next video. Bye, y'all.